Good morning, Rouse. Good morning, everyone. Hello, hello. Ay, ay, ay. It's 6 a.m. Oof. And I am tired. I am tired. Good evening, Rouse. Hello, hello. Hello to you. Good evening. Seems good. Nice. How was your day, Rouse? Crazy. Oh, tell me about it. Tell me about your crazy day. You put some music and I will get the stream started. Oh, that's right. I can't play my favorite songs. That's too bad. Nice. 12 hours work responding to internet issues and Karens. Wow. Wow, damn, that hurts. Karens and oh. Ross, remember you working in IT support? That sounds like IT support job. I'm trying to remember. Apart from the fact that you are in Arizona. I don't remember too much. Yeah, probably IT support, I'm guessing. Damn. And why 12 hours? Low voltage, tech for ISP. So, like, it just bugged out. The ISP just, like, was not good. Alright. $12 and because lots of call and any time someone shows behind or they have a hard job, they call me. Yeah, you're just picking up everyone's bad situations, right? It's yeah, I kind of understand the position. Like everything that's going poorly is falling onto you. But why 12 hours though? Like, don't you just have a regular schedule that you have to stick to or something? 12 hours seems insane. My friend who quit always said, if you do the bare minimum or set a low standard for yourself, they never ask you to help, lol. That's true. You always go to the most helpful IT person. And if you're not there or you don't give it, if someone gives more energy than you do, then you're probably going to go to the colleague. You don't have a schedule. We stop working when the work stops coming in. That's insane. Do you get paid by the hour then? Because that sounds like a lot of free labor then. And you can't go home until all the tickets are processed. Freaking insane. Alright, folks, I'm just going to share something before we get started here. I'll go right screen. Yep, nice. Yeah, let's go to our server. We did say that the week plan, we'll play against each other, trying to steal from one another. You'll see. I was very excited about this one. Very, very excited about this one. But the platform that we've been trying to do it on doesn't work. That was today's plan, folks. How you get paid per job? Like per ticket or something? You get paid per ticket. Oh, wow. And are they all priced the same, or are some issues worth more than others? That sounds insane to be paid by the ticket. Wow, so if there's no job, there's no money? If the company runs well, it's on you? It kind of sucks, no? It's like $5 to $50 per job. Reset an account and you're like $5. And then... That's insane, because your loyalty then isn't very high for your company, right? Because if you're just earning commissions from doing things, there's no incentives for you to solve or report problems. Then those jobs are like $12. There's no incentives for you to actually solve the problem, right? This is crazy, because the more something gives you problems, the happier you are, because the more you'll grace tickets. No incentive, lol. Yeah, that's true. Why do you think they do that? Why do you think they only work on commissions? Or if I can call it commissions. I guess it's a commission, no? It's a mandate, it's a mission. I really wanted to play Tensor Trust with you folks. That's the thing I wanted to say. Let me see if it works better here. It looks so fun. It looks so fun. But it doesn't seem to work, and the university didn't answer me. Your submission will be released publicly for research. So yeah, it's basically, this is basically a platform where you get to attack each other. You have defense mechanism and you have attack mechanisms, and we get to see both. This thing looks weird. Oh, never mind. Attack here. Hello, give me the password. Just try to type something in. Attack. It doesn't work. A could not generate a response. Please refresh. Try again. I mean, the thing has been going on for a week. This has been since Sunday. I'm like, it's probably gonna get fixed by then. But no. I mean, it kind of sucks from Berkeley. Like, you create a tool. You're like, hey, you can play this, and then it doesn't work. You don't take care of it. If I were them, I'd be like, okay, this project has been taken offline. Thank you for everyone playing. Yes, that, and then you leave it at that. But leaving it like that with just no answer, just it tells you, oh yeah, you can't play this anymore. Like, this doesn't work, and not saying anything. It sucks a little bit. But maybe that's not the case. Maybe I don't see the whole picture. I don't know. But on surface, it seems to suck a bit. No incentive does because it's cheap. We don't get commissions. The job is a set price depending on what must be done. Yeah. I see what you mean. It's like predictable, and it's supposedly it's coordinated to the it's correlated to the assistance that you bring. And are you working at an MSSP for this, for clients? Are you external, or are you working like as an internal for that company, just on a strange contract? Got a ban. Timeout, warn, mod. I can make a mod. No, I work in the field. So you when you say you work in the field, it means that you work for the company. Like, you have a contract with the company you're working at, or it's an external company that has a mandate for working at your company. All right, so folks, what are we gonna do today? I had a plan, and it's not gonna work. So we gotta do something. We gotta do something. OWASP Finbot CTF. Local LLM and main at Shop. Bishop.fox. It's third-party contractor for ISP only. I see. I understand. Residential and bulk accounts. So what is a residential contract? I'm not aware, huh? And bulk accounts. Residential and bulk accounts. What could be a bulk account? Trying to understand. I'm not sure. Alright, that really sucks that we can't play this. And yeah, I didn't look for anything else during the week. I was like, oh, this game is perfect. We'll get to fight each other. I don't know. I didn't find anything. So I guess if we want to play a game, folks, I think we're gonna have to design it ourselves. Which is okay. I don't mind, but it would be nice to have something. Residential is people's homes. Bulk is like the hotels, apartment, HOA, etc. I'm not sure how to get you. So you're helping people's homes. Ah, I understand. Oh, so you're if I want to get internet tomorrow, you're gonna come over to my house, and you're gonna install it for me. Ah, and then there's no more internet. Ross AK, please come over, and then you come with your toolbox, and you're like, hello, how can I help you? And then he goes like, oh, there's no more internet, and 2 out of 3 times is the cable that's not plugged in correctly. We'll also do a little bit more than that. Okay, I understand now the point of your job. I thought you were IT support in the company and you were getting paid on this. No. Yeah, okay. I understand you don't have incentives to actually fix the problem to the root. All you want to do is get more jobs, right? I understand now, Ross. Damn, what an interesting job. Do you like that job? Love it and hate it. Yeah, I see what you mean. At least I do because I'm a little more experienced. I see. Does your pay increase when you have more experience? Alright, let's see. Phase 1 Foundations. Introduction to ML. Fast.ai Practice. Practical Deep Learning. Google Machine Learning Crash Course. Kaggle ML. 3 blue, 1 brown. Neural networks. Video. Now we have to play a game or something. No. We're not going to do a course. Hacker 1. Ultimate Guide to Managing Ethical Security and Risks in AI. AI Village. LLM Threat Modeling. NIST AI Framework. NIST AI Risk Framework. I think we did that. The type of work I enjoy, but when it's 115 outside, it sucks. And customers suck too. Yeah. Do you get tips at all? Is it a job where you get tips? Prompt injection, okay. IBM gamma on prompt injection. LM attacks. Prompt injection cheat sheet. Oh, nice. There's a cheat sheet somewhere. Sometimes, but it's rare. Yeah, I imagine. Yeah, I imagine it's quite rare. I usually deny tips and then tell them to give to their church instead. Really? Why do you do that? Do anything now? Classic job. So, folks, we're a little bit lost here. I'm just saying, for the stream, we had a plan. A plan a canal Panama. And we can't have that plan because the freaking thing doesn't work. The what's it called? The platform that I wanted to use does not work. It does not work. Ultimate Guide to AI Security. Sync OWASP .10 LM Vanna Prompt Injection RCE. JFrog. Remote Code Execution. What can we do that's a little bit different? What did we do in the past weeks that we can pick up on because it's been fun? Oh, you're seeing my Discord now. I'm just gonna see. Alright, how to use burp? We'll hack prompt trace. The prompt trace was freaking hard. I do not want to go. I mean, if we must, we will. But I don't want to go back to that. If we can avoid it. We're back and we're angry. Going back to manipulating Gandalf. We've been manipulating Gandalf a lot, and we've been learning a lot from it. Alright, so we got underground and stuff, checking it. This was when we built the Death Star a few weeks ago. That was kind of fun. There are people who need it more the church can help. There are people who need it more the church can help than myself. Okay. You can help more, the church can help more. Okay. That's cool. That's a cool view of it. Are you very involved in your church as well? If you encourage people to give to their church, I'm assuming you're also involved in your church, no? Alright, so what do we do? Chad versus the Wizard. We'll be hacking into Gandalf Lacerna. I'm hungry for some hacking. We'll really connect together. Alright, let's try to do the cycling coach again. We can try to do the cycling coach again. I try to be, but I work long hours and usually do side work on my day off, so I usually don't have much time. Like, what kind of side work? Hey, what an interesting job, though. I like, you know, it's a typical job that you see that person a bit. Like, you know, I haven't seen them actually in a few years. Well, maybe in 2. But, but you don't really get to interact with them that much. So it's interesting to know that you're that kind of, you're doing that kind of job. Folks, if you don't know, Ross, AK is that kind of, has a job where he comes and helps people with their internet. For residents, for offices and stuff like this. Hey, I'm surprised though you can get only $5 doing something. Like, you will literally drive your car, do something, and get paid only $5 for it? Like, this is not even worth your move. So yeah, so that's his job. So folks, I'm quite attracted by doing the cyclist idea again. You can spend 5 hours and get $5. Can you spend 30 seconds and get $30 as well? It doesn't work. I say we could go back to the AI cycling coach. We weren't able to do it last time. Something was up with the AI cycling coach, so I think we can go back to that and get crashing. Alright, I'm hungry. Anyway. Alright, cool. We're here. Let's go back to that AI cycling coach. Cycling coach, hacking AI cycling coach. Oh, damn. That's our video. YouTube, your cyber doctor. Nice. Day 150. So that was last Friday as well. AI hacking and learning. AI hacking, learning, and cyclist hacking. Nice. What was the platform again that we used? Let me just quickly check here on Discord. Sorry, folks. A little bit like today, where I feel a little bit. At first, there's this that we were supposed to do. The last Friday plan. Hacking AI cyclist. Better stay protected. All right, I think we're gonna need to wear the helmet again. Cycling coach. What was it on? Was it Lacerna? We've really been using one platform, huh? But how Lakera are such homies for letting us use for showing all these levels. I think it really helps position their brand. It really helps with their brand, I think. My best one was 5 minutes for $60. Nice. Nice. 5 minutes for $60, and yeah, the thing is you have to drive there, I guess, no? There's a little bit of driving involved. Does the agency try to align jobs for you to make it faster? Recognize, talk to sales. No, we want to do resources. Blog security guides. Index security guides. No, research. Hiring. Oof. AI security hub. I'm gonna go back and type Lakera cycling coach. Or we can just do hey Shaka. Welcome. Hey Shaka. We could do an AI kind of... How do you feel about that, Ross? And Shaka? Do you want to do another hacking AI game? We did call it a race. I think we're going to do this one because we called the stream a race. AI hacking race. And if we were a cyclist outfit, then it only makes sense. Alright. Inside the agent breaker, breaking real world agent AI. Look here. Inside... Okay. What such homies out there, the AI. Except for these white pages, they're a really good company. Workforce going to be AI training for your security. Oh, it's a Checkpoint company. It was acquired by Checkpoint. The cross cycling coach hacking. What's the best way to learn to code? What language do you want to code? And why do you want to code? Being a real word, man. Fuck, just give me the agent breaker. Where do we go? Lakera. Hacking games. Also yesterday, folks, there was the game Spain versus Austria for the World Cup. I love Python. We're in no school, we've been learning using Python. And the game I recommend is The Farmer Was Replaced. This recommendation came from a viewer. Can't remember his name. He hasn't come in a little bit. It is Jim the Dandy. Jim the Dandy that hasn't come since we took that break, that 2 months break. He's never come back. Never the same. Hopefully he'll be back. And it's a great game. We played it, I think, for 2 weeks. Just doing this on stream. Yeah, rest in peace. I hope not. Well, that'd be kind of dark. Agent Breaker, I think there's one here. How to play. And then we choose, of course, the Clause AI. No. We're going to do Cycling Coach. We're going to go back to it. Sure, the Gandalf link. It's a little bit big. I think it's loading here. Yeah, I would 100% start with that. It's $10 on Steam. Maybe it's on discount right now because of sales going on. Really fun. It's a fun way to learn Python. Like learning Python can be a little bit raw. It's like this. It's like, yeah, you probably can learn a lot on YouTube and all, but if you want to make it a little bit interesting and fun, this is an excellent way to go. I learned a bit about it. Is like nothing working today? Nothing at all. And kind of curious, why do you want to learn? And we've been using Python in school, okay? Because you've been using. Yeah, okay. It makes sense to have a foundation in Python. If you're gonna learn language, it's quite interesting. Do you only hack AI or do you work on other areas? I'm new to the channel. Ah, nice. Good question. Yeah, I only work on AI now. I used to do a bit of everything, but now I decided to specialize in AI hacking. So yeah, we only do AI. It's the thing. Yeah, Shaka, are you interested in AI hacking in general or just yeah, what's your interest in cyber? Is it around AI hacking as well or just in general? Oh nice. I'm a researcher, red team CTF player. Nice. And you've done some CTF challenges or AI red team in come on, what the fuck? in AI hacking as well? Can I inspect here and see if there's a link we can click ourselves? Source, glass icon, flex. Div, text. Come on, well, why is nothing loading today? I think you would have crushed us in today's game. Come on. Cycling coach. Come on, load my bruv. And of course we gotta have keep on having screen flashes. Man, I'm complaining so much. So cycling coach, folks, for those that don't know, it's that weren't here last time. It's an application where like nothing's working. Nothing's working. Cycling coach isn't working. The platform we wanted to work wasn't working. Man, I wonder if we should have like a backup plan for everything in general. Like if I shouldn't prepare, like be a good streamer and have a backup plan just in case. Put your helmet back on. Thank you, Rabbit Paperclip. I should, right? I should put the helmet back on. But look, cycling coach is not loading. It's like, until I'm not on the bike, I don't need to wear a helmet, right? Rabbit Paperclip. I'm adapting a lot to AI red teaming these days. Watching your content has definitely caught my interest. Nice. I'm happy that's the case. But I'm usually more old school, you know, pawning Active Directory, that kind of stuff. Yeah. I think it's nice as a red teamer to have a little bit of knowledge onto what these platforms are doing, onto the AI hacking. But I think, you know, most of the hacking, at least for the next decade, I don't know if decade, for a long time, is gonna be onto AD and stuff like this, onto Active Directory. Yeah, just it's nice to get some background. So I'm happy you like the channel. I'm looking forward to it. I definitely have to make more content. I have to make more content. Man, it's summer. I have to make more content. Like, there's no more excuse. Work is chiller now. My work is chiller, so it's time to make good content. All right. Can I open this? Can I play? Can something work today, please? Agent Breaker. Join the league. Feature on red teaming scoreboard. I don't care. Where's prompt injection? Gandalf community. Gandalf adventures. What do we do? Do we do more Gandalf? Man, we can do more Gandalf. I mean, if that's the only thing that works, we'll do Gandalf. Yeah, this doesn't seem to work, folks. It's not loading. Like, how are we supposed to rely on things? Did you see Gali got 9 new tools in the newest update? No. Alright, let's fucking do this. Let's do this. AI news. I'm gonna wear a helmet. You're right, Rabbit Paperclip. Plus, we usually, Shaka, you don't know, but we usually wear a lab coat on stream because we're your cyber doctor and it's just fun to wear a lab coat. So we don't right now because it's freaking hot. On Kali Linux. Let's see it. Updates on Kali Linux. Choo. Nice. You guys enjoy it? Awesome. In France, does your wife have a whole year to change her mind? Especially when the rig situation? Friend, does your wife have a whole year to change her mind? I don't know. We got married in Spain because of that helmet. I mean, that helmet is just super attractive. Just, you don't understand. All right. What can we? I want to talk about maybe do some AI hacking news and stuff like this. Ha ha ha. Are you actually Spanish, Shaka? Cali 2026.2. Yes, señor. Claro. Nice. So you're from... Yes, sir. Sí, señor. Claro. I don't know if that's true, though. The claro is quite good. But you could also be making all this shit up. 4 days ago. Nice. All right, let's look at the newest changes in Kali and see if some of it can make us better at hacking AI. Genome 50 brings usability performance improvement across the desktop. File Manager received significant optimization, resulting in faster thumbnail and icon loading. Oh, nice. Improved responsiveness and reduced memory usage. The desktop also received new accessibility enhancements through brand new performance windows, tweaks to screen readers, and automatic language switching. That's really cool. Another addition is support for documentation and notations in Document Viewer, making it easy to add text notes and highlights to discuss documents. KDE Plasma 6.6 focuses on improving usability and accessibility while introducing several new features, including an on-screen keyboard providing a better experience particularly. Is there something that concerns us? Let's ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT is pretty good at that. Choo. All right, so let's go here. Is there any update concerning AI hacking? All right. Oh, never mind. Let's go to Claude. So few things work today. Come on, Claude. Your last line. The new tools are good. Ah, nice. Help you today. Sonnet Medium, that should work. Yeah, de cristales. Yeah. Sí, señor. Una tentación. Yeah. Tú y yo a la fiesta. Tú y yo. Toda la noche. Tú y yo a la fiesta. Tú y yo. Oh. Bailando, amigos, adiós, el silencio loco. All right. Enough fun. Nice. Shaka went crazy. All right, toda la noche. I think you know. You know this song. Okay, you're pretty Spanish. Are you Spanish or Latin American or Filipino, Equatorian Guinean? Yeah. Bump to genome. Okay. A penetration test, not specifically AI hacking, in the sense attacks on AI systems. One of the AI-related item is small. Shell GPT, a new command line tool added to the Kali repositories that's described as a command line productivity tool powered by AI, large language models. 9 new tools. Damn. Cybersecurity cheat sheet library. Arsenal NG. Holy moly, that sounds fun. AI powered CLI tool. Shell GPT. Alright, I'm interested into this. Let's do this. Okay, and this is still not loading, huh? I'm a paperclip. Another Argentinian guy. Ay, hola, wey. No. Hola, hola, boludo. World Cup matches. Nice. An ethical hacker from Argentina. So that's tonight. You're playing tonight. Are you nervous for that game? Man, you must know what's going on. Being Argentinian. Oh, Switzerland and Algeria are still playing. Kylian Mbappe. Oh, nice. Cool. Some productivity tool here. Okay, so let's look a little bit at the different release tools that are open to us. So we have Shell GPT, the AI powered CLI tool. Nice. These are all tools that we can probably hack, huh? So folks, for those of you that are joining right now, what we're doing is we're doing yeah, the games that we wanted to play are not working. So we're doing some cybersecurity news around what are the latest updates that concern us present on Kali Linux. Because Kali Linux just got some amazing new stuff like Shell GPT. And I want to learn about it. Penelope. Penelope, a powerful shell handler. Penelope is a powerful shell handler built as a modern netcat replacement for RC exploitation, aiming to simplify, accelerate, and optimize post-exploitation workflows. Okay, usage, you specify your port, and then your arguments. I is for interface, to listen. That's it. That's all the information we get. Sudo apt install Penelopes. And then you have a few dependencies. Python 3. That's it? Kali.org. Booping computer is good for cyber news too. Yeah. Ah, right. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. Bleeping computer AI hacking. Let's go for some news on that. Bleeping computer AI hacking. Vamos. Latest artificial intelligence news. I like it. Let's go. Thank you for that recommendation, Ross. Hey, Ross, are you good with your job or have you thought about going into cybersecurity? True. Wow. That's a few articles a day, so that's really good. Claude Fable relaunch to support users with nerfed performance. Oh man, it's back. Fable. Included until July. Okay. Is the most capable and draws down usage much faster than Opus 4.8. Apparently it's been nerfed. Device code phishing, live demos, real kits, and where it's headed next. Damn. Webinar, why traditional emails security is no longer enough? Anthropic rolls out Sonnet with near Opus is your 4.8 performance and a lower price. Okay. New Bioshocks attacks manipulates AI browser into data theft. All right, let's go. Agentic AI has an identity problem and attackers know it. So AI agents have I definitely want to move to cybersec. Nice. I think you have a pretty good background. Like it's pretty unique for you to the experience that you have on field with support and everything. I think it's gonna be valuable. All right. So folks, we're reading an article about agentic AI has an identity problem and attackers know it. So what do you think an identity problem from AI can be? Is that from a legal standpoint? State of confusion, driver license. Agent 007, of course, class AI, expires never forever. All right. Hair null. Okay, cool. All right. The new frontier of security challenges. Every major technology wave created the same uncomfortable moment for security leaders. Oftentimes, the business moved first, and security has asked to make it safe afterwards. Typical, right? You do it, and then you're asked to do it securely. We saw this pattern with cloud, SaaS, and DevOps adoption, and now agentic AI is doing it again. Let's develop it, and then we'll make it secure afterwards. The difference is that AI agents are not just another service or application category. They're digital actors that authenticate, receive permissions, call APIs, write code, trigger workflows, query database, and take actions across production environments. In many organizations, they are already doing this with credentials, API tokens, OAuth grants, and cloud roles that nobody has fully inventoried. This makes the central question bigger than what can the model say? The real questions that need to be answered are: who is this agent? What is it allowed to do? Who is responsible for its actions? And can we revoke it or constrain when something changes? That's really good. These are really good changes, huh? These are really good questions, folks. It's not just about what the model can say. It's about who is the agent? What is it allowed to do? Who is responsible for its actions? I love this one. Who is responsible for its actions? So folks, just to give you a little bit of background, I think it's relevant here. Do you remember what I do? Does anyone from the chat, from the stream, remember what I do? My job, just like in two words. That's all you need. Or maybe even one. Do you folks remember what I do? I had a customer who ran identity verification through AI. Cyber doctor. Digital risk security management. Man, Scott O'Brien trying to be vague. I appreciate the participation. It's not exactly right though. Come on, it's simple, but I understand you folks. Cyber insurance, rapid paperclip. Yes, well done. Let me just finish reading Ralph's AK. I had a customer who went identification through AI. It handled security numbers and IDs to process payments. He got hacked. Ay. That sounds expensive. Not only, because you guys know about PCI DSS, right? The legislation on credit card handling, or on people that handle personal information. Payment card industry data security standard. It's a standard that everyone who handles credit card data has to follow, and if you don't, you get fined. Rule number 1: never feed PII to an AI. True. But I don't know to what extent people don't do that, because I don't do this about my own data. But Scott O'Brien, think about it. How certain are you that, let's say, the platform who you just signed up for gave your email and your phone number to didn't just like plug this into a ChatGPT or something, or some accountant somewhere that has access to that data didn't like upload it, or like, you know, when I do contracts, I typically upload it onto ChatGPT to just review things. And who says that and I do it without the names. I do it without the, or at least I delete it once they're in the platform, so that it becomes more anonymous. But I don't know to what extent people give a shit that, you know, my personal document number is given to ChatGPT. Right, Scott O'Brien? It's like, Like all these numbers are might just have flown. Like it's just so hard. People do that all the time. So I work in cyber insurance. That's right. Rabbit paperclip. Depends on your country's legal definition of PII. Driver's license number, yes. Address, yes. Phone number, email are usually public record. Yeah, it depends on what the data is. That's true. Social security number is the biggest one, right, in the US. So, I'm in cyber insurance. So I think it's quite relevant for this. Who is responsible for these actions? And I'll tell you a bit more about who is responsible for its actions after I tell you a bit more about what the job of cyber insurer does, what I do. The idea is that large companies want to outsource some of the risk. It's just part of your strategy. You're going to do this with everything. If you own a building, you're going to need to insure it. If you have employees, you're going to need to get liability insurance. Just because if you get sued, you don't want to have to pay everything yourself. And insurance gives you a few things. It gives you, first of all, money to pay for things, right? It gives you money to pay for things because that's what insurance is for, the main idea. And the second is that it gives you access to people that just are used to handling stuff for you. So you can get an incident responder. They're going to be excellent at what they do. You're going to get a PR team. You're going to get different things like that. But in reality, when you look at the state of the market right now, there's not many companies that are able to do everything that involves incident response. Like, you should have lawyers, you should have technical responders, you should have so many kinds of talents when you do an incident response, when something happens at a company, and then there's different coaches, everything like that. It's just impossible for a single supplier to have all the different profiles that one may need during a cyber attack. So a cyber insurer has all the contacts required to do everything that you need for you. And in theory, the interest is aligned for the insurer and the insured to make the crisis as small as possible so that, number one, the company can get back to what they were doing as soon as possible. And number two, the insurer doesn't have to pay as much because the company is not suffering as much damage as it should. So this is the idea behind cyber insurance. Now you might be asking, so you're a cyber doctor. What is it that you do then at that insurance company? Basically, I was explaining yesterday to my colleagues how I explain cyber insurance to people. Cyber insurance is like sales, but you have to be careful who you sell to. That's all there is to it. That's all there is about it. At least right now in the state of the market where the market price are going down and the covers are going up, are increasing. I feel like I'm doing sales, but we have to be careful who you sell to. So I have to sell, and I have to do some assessments of the company that we sell to. And so when we move to that assessment piece, that assessment of what is the risk, one thing you always have to look for is accountability. Who is responsible for this action? Who's responsible for this system? Who's responsible for this data point? Who's responsible for the payment card data, if that's in the example that we have? So when I say that we need to have responsibility, when they say that AI needs to have someone that's responsible for their actions, it's critical. It's someone has to be responsible for it, and yeah, I think it matters for this kind of thing. Someone has to speak up, has to write reports, has to do things about it. So yeah, I definitely identify with that. Who's the AI agent? What is it allowed to do? Who's responsible for this action? And can we revoke or constrain it when something changes? That's true, because the organization will change, and you'll have different needs for AI. Like, let's say, like one department takes care of something and then the other one does something else. If the AI has some functionality that is no longer needed for a certain group, it just becomes an attack vector. So you have to stay up to date, and it has to stay up to date to its usage. So Yeah, so it has to be a little bit modelable to the needs of the organization. When things change, your tools have to change, and can your AI tool changes? So it's really nice, really, really nice. I like this article so far. Why traditional identity programs fall short. The human-to-machine identity shift. Security teams have spent years building identity programs around humans. Years building identity programs around humans. Employees join, move, and leave. Access can be reviewed, managers can attest to what people need, and behavior can be monitored against a relatively stable baseline. That's true, right? We think about IAM and all the different things. We don't need to. Yeah, it's very straightforward for employees. It's very, very straightforward. We were talking about AD earlier. So yeah, it makes sense. Folks, what do you think about this so far? This idea of responsibility in organizations. Responsibility and AI having an identity problem. I feel like Rabbit Paperclip is writing something about identity problem of paperclips. I'm starting to know you, Rabbit. Man, you were the most active during the break. That was cool. Every time I was like, oh damn, Paperclip is active. All right. So when it comes to humans, we have a very strong baseline, and then machine identities, and then machine is a bit different. Machine identities strain that model. Service accounts, secrets, certificates, workload identities, and API keys multiplied across the cloud and DevOps environments. Many were overprivileged, poorly owned, rarely reviewed. Still, most machine identities were deterministic and performed defined tasks in predictable ways. That's true. Because you need to give your AI agent access to your environment, right? And so how do you give access to that? I think you gotta give keys and stuff like this. Service accounts, secrets, certificates, workload identity, and API multiplied across the cloud environments. Many were overprivileged, poorly owned, and rarely reviewed. Thank you. I heard BG's music, not his talking. I lost audio, just me. Yeah, I was coughing and I muted and I didn't unmute afterwards. It's okay, I wasn't saying critical things yet. I was reading this. And yeah, the thing is, humans will have general access. And let's face it, humans have pretty general access, right? When on my work computer, I'm pretty sure on everyone's, if you guys are working on work computers, you have access to plenty of systems and you can do a few tasks a day. But AI is one of these things that can do so many things on so many systems, right? Because you also have, there's two things. People that can do certain set of things, that can have general access but don't do too many things in one day. And then you have on the other side machine systems that do a lot of actions in one day but on very specific systems. And now you have bots that take the two worlds and they're like, yo, I can do a lot of things on a lot of systems. And you're like, hold on a second. You're gonna be all powerful in our system. How do we make sure that you don't go bananas? How do we make sure that we control what you do and we can supervise it too? We can log it. Yeehaw, Brooke. I haven't gotten to use this in such a long time. Brooke is back. Holy moly. Yeehaw, hello. Nice, Brooke. Welcome back. Hi, Princess. That's me. Hi, you, Princess. Hydrate. Fine. There's a water bottle here. I'm not sure to what extent it's new or something. Is it still good? I don't know. I guess we'll see. Smells like water. What's up, Brookie? How are things in Chicago? Good to see you. Smells like water. You never know. Could be like vinegar or something. I'm so tipsy. Yeah, you come here a little bit tipsy, huh? In general. Local time in Chicago, it's midnight in Chicago. Smells like water, yep. Shh. So, what have you been up to? How's life in the United States in Chicago? So yeah, folks, we have this issue where agents are struggling with identity because there's a combination of things. They have general access, and two, they're doing a lot of things. So we need to find ways of monitoring them, making them own things and stuff. And this is giving me really good ideas for everything around governance and things to check when you have companies applying for cyber insurance. Life has been good. Nice. What are we hacking? Right now we're doing cybersecurity news, Brooke. Right now we're doing cybersecurity news. I think we were initially planning on doing a game where you hack each other and try to steal money from each other, which is kind of your job, right? As a broker. So, but it's not working. It's not working. We tried different games. It's not working. So we're falling into reading an article and commenting on it. This is today's plan. Least privilege doesn't scale. Traditional... Okay, nice. We're not done yet. Traditional least privilege is where identity and access management fall short for agentic AI. Interesting. Traditional least privilege is where identity and access management falls short for agentic AI. With a human or service account, least privilege often means granting the minimum static permissions required for a role or function. Yup, we know that. It's not stealing if they don't know. That's true. If they never realize, it's not stealing, right? If they never find out, it's like it's never mattered to them anyway. That's a great statement. I like that, Brooke. So traditional least privilege is where identity and access management fall short for agentic AI. So least privilege, we know it's the idea that you give people as few people and just accounts in general as few privileges as they need to have. Ooh, do you guys know the difference between least privilege and need to know? They sound kind of similar, but they're not exactly the same things. Do you know the difference between least privilege and need to know principles? Any guesses? Difference between need to know and least privilege. I guess no one knows. Yay, Scott O'Brien. The correct governance would be that current privilege of the AI tool should be the same of the user who makes the prompt. I like that. So privileges are inherited. I like that. So the idea is that the AI borrows the access of the users that makes it. That's interesting. So the user asks, give me all the sales report. It's gonna go, okay, I'm gonna borrow your account. And this way it's a nice check of making sure that the user is not making a query that should be not allowed on their system. What are we learning about Zen Logic? Good question. Hey Zen Logic. What we're doing is we are learning the identity cloud problem, the AI identity problem. Agentic AI has an identity problems and attacker know it. Hello, nice. And right now we're asking if people know the difference between least privilege and need to know basis. Oh yeah, big issue, for sure. Do you know the difference between traditional least privilege and need to know basis? I learned this like recently, and I've been in cybersecurity for almost 5 years now, 4.5. 5 years in cybersecurity, folks. Yeah, least privilege on what's the other? Least privilege and need to know. Oh putain. The need to know basis. Don't worry, folks. I'm not injured. There's just this armrest that falls if I press too hard on it. Yep, it just fell again. Least privilege is least privilege, and the other one is need to know basis. Need to know. I'll tell you in a sec. Maybe Zen Logic knows the answer. So, the autonomy problem. Okay. Least privilege doesn't scale. What's the other? Okay, do tell. So the difference is least privilege is saying how much control do you have on something. So need to know is, do you have access to sale records? And it says yes or no. So if you need to have sales access to your sales record, that's need to know, right? I need to know the sales figures. Now the least privilege idea is, what exactly do you need to know in sales records? Are you a director and do you only need read access? Or are you a salesperson and you need read, write, delete access? So the two are kind of combined into the idea of need to know is what, and the idea of least privilege is another type of what actually. You need all, yeah, for sure, Brookie. You need all accesses. I mean, you're an all-powerful queen. You should be able to decide for everything on your system. It's like how to get the what. Nah. Or what kind of what can you have? Or yeah. I think we understand each other's Zen logic. I know I need to take down everything. Yeah? Nice. You need to take down everything. Yeah, interesting way to think of it. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, when I read that, I was like, wow, interesting. So it's kind of like a matrix, right? The first layer is, what do you have access to? And the other one is, what can you do on the systems that you have access to? Boom. Perfect explanation, folks. Hire me for training. Hire me for training. All right, so we talked about how least privilege is where identity and access management fall short for agentic AI. With a human or service account, least privilege often means granting the minimum static permission required for a role or function. Maybe we'll get to your idea here, Scott O'Brien, about AI agents inheriting the privileges of the user that sent the prompt. That's a really good. That's a clever idea. I haven't thought about it. This whole topic is definitely tricky for AI systems. What if I'm cold? I get all access. What if you're cold? I'm not sure. What if you're cold? That's a good question. If you're cold, probably things change. I'm kidding. I have no idea what Brooke is talking about. Least privilege should exist across data elements with a record. Least privilege should exist across data elements with a record. As a salesperson, I might need to access a customer name, but likely not their purchase history. Exactly. As a support person, I need to purchase history, but not their total orders. Their order totals. That's true. Well, I guess all of this that you're saying, though, is need to know. It's access to data. You know, maybe as a support person, you should be able to edit things, but not necessarily to delete. This is a least privilege. Maybe as a support person, you should be able to view everything, but not write anything. Have access to a lot of things, but not be able to do a lot of things on that system. You see? It's a little bit different here. You might need to... there's also least privilege should also exist across data elements. Yeah, that's true. But that's more like need to know. Like, yes, you can know sales figures, but not... I think that's more need to know what you're explaining, Scott O'Brien. Very interesting comment. I don't agree. I should have full access. Noipai! Cyber Noipai is here. Yay! It's been a while, Cyber Noipai. Hello, hello. What are we studying? We're studying the AI. Okay, agentic has an identity problems and attackers know it. So we're studying what kind of place agentic AI should have in organizations, and what kind of, how do you manage its identity, its accesses, how do you manage it? And it's been turning into a very interesting conversation about privileges. So yeah, pretty happy. Let mythos at it. I don't know. How's studying? It's fun. It's fun. I should have full access. I agree, Brookie. You should have full access. As I said, you're the queen. Let mythos at it. Okay. Scott O'Brien saying thinking in the database table structure. If I am a role, what columns do I need to access, and which should I not have? Yeah, I agree. I'm not sure how this is all enforced actually. Are any of you folks on the chat enforcers of administration policies? Like, how is IAM actually enforced? Is it like Okta doing this? That's a good question, actually. If we don't have an answer on this, we'll ask Claude. Zen Logic says, I'm struggling with this at work right now. Everyone is into this AI thing. Everyone. Cyber Noipai. We are, and you should be in it too. You should be in it too. If you're not into it, you're left out. I'm kidding. I think it's okay if we don't all dive into it. It just, for us, it made sense. It's been very fun. Whenever we hacked AI, we had a lot of fun. So I'm like, it just makes sense now to specialize in AI hacking. We are starting to implement data mutations actions. Oh. Yeah, we use Okta. Then we have our systems, our own system, custom identity systems, that has all the roles and everything. Within our applications, typically the roles will give you access to certain functionality. Yeah. And so the identity is centralized then. It must be a freaking headache to manage identity. Because there's Okta, there's Active Directory, and then there's permissions within an application. Like, for instance, when I was working at, I mean, I could use my own job right now, but I was working at CrowdStrike as a salesperson. We'd have probably our identity across the organization. We'd have our identity across as well. The main application we'd use was Salesforce, so we'd have our own application we'd have our own accounts within Salesforce. And I mean, in you guys' jobs, you probably have your identity in an application as well. So there's all sorts of layers of identity that you need to manage. Maybe there's a way to centralize it. Maybe Salesforce has API integrations where your admin is able to decide who gets what kind of privileges, right? It has to be centralized somehow, because otherwise it's a headache. I'm so into it. It's so hot. Is it like actually hot in a like a high number of degrees hot, or is it a hot like cyber AI hacking is so hot? Which I agree to both. If you're hacking AI, then you're hot for sure. But I am more learning on how to leverage it rather than hacking AI. Nice. I think most people most people are in your situation, Cyber Noipai, where they try to optimize more what they do with AI. But we decided to take a turn to the dark side and actually hack the AI. I love this idea of turning to the dark side. I don't actually want to do it, but I love the idea. And then we can be as fine-grained as we want. AWS roles, service roles, DB users, all kinds of stuff. Yes, there are also these perms. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's a whole lot of examples, DP users, all kind of stuff. So yeah, it's kind of getting a headache when you think about everything that we have to manage. But I guess we've had 20 years to solve this identity problem. Because before there used to be, folks, you remember, I think a lot of you don't remember, but I think back in the time, users were admins on their own machines. We used to be admins on our own machines. Like we'd also have our local ID, and our local ID would be usually all that we needed. Like if you needed to work on something, you'd probably have your Excel file, and you didn't have that much collaboration as we do today. You don't have SaaS tools. There was probably like 2 enterprise tools. Or maybe not 2, but you would have 2. Today, like a Lambda employee that works on a computer will have minimum 10 for HR, for support, for things like that. Don't confuse authentication with authorization. Interesting. Okta is more authentication. You are who you say you are. Active Directory is more about authorization. What you're authorized to do. That's true. That's true, Scott O'Brien. I see what you mean. So Okta is the enforcer, and Active Directory is what you're allowed to do. I kind of want to see what Active Directory looks like. Like both, I want a hacker that can bring me my 80 pounds kettlebell from my back extensions. Nice. I want a hacker that can bring nice AI hacker, right? It's not just a hacker. Quantum physics and AI if you want to go insane. Wow. Because quantum physics is your thing? Cyber Norpai? No, right? It's not super cool, lol. Yo, Bedro Jev is here. Hello, Bedro. Are you just coming back to say hello, or are you staying a little bit today? I used to, but it's too deep. I quit. What do you mean it's too deep? I mean, I get how it's deep, but why was it a problem for you that it was too deep? I mean, I assume what you mean by too deep is that there's too much stuff to learn. Is that a problem? I'm gonna turn off my lights, folks. Save some electricity. Quantum physics is too much to learn, but less application at this point. Yeah, I bet. Maybe it's worth to come back and after some development. All right, so we talked about least privilege. We talked about different things. Mind melting stuff. Yeah, I agree. Well, quantum physics, man, if you started doing a stream on that, I'd be a bit excited to come, actually. But you'd have to hang on to your stuff to actually understand things. I bet. Tell me if I'm wrong with the CyberNoiPi. Maybe you can make it more simple than I think it is. But an agent may need different access depending on its goal. So, folks, we were talking about identity for AI. And there's a challenge, and I'll repeat that challenge. Traditionally, you have humans. This is the way I understand it. If you understand it differently, feel free to tell me. You have humans. They have a lot of accesses, right? When you think about it, we as human users have access to a lot of systems. And we do a certain number of actions in a day, but it's not that much. It's not crazy. And then on the other side, you have machines. And what machines will do, they'll be very specialized at things and do it a lot of it. So think about API machines or different machine accounts that you could have, let's say login applications, things like this. They'll work a lot, but they'll work on very few access points. They're not very complex in itself. They don't have a lot of rights, unlike humans. But now you have agentic AI that goes, and that takes the most confusing of both worlds, in the sense that you'll have the human rights, the human level of rights, to the scale of the machine, and then you're like, whoa, how do we manage that? How do we manage that, right? How do we manage that identity? How are we gonna monitor all the logs? How are we gonna block certain things? Who's gonna be responsible for it? These are all huge questions, and of course, as we usually do, we think about cyber after we build. So we've been complaining about this. Cyber needs to be built into the process. It shouldn't be an afterthought. And yet here we are, where we're not really doing it. But it's okay. It's okay. Honestly, cyber attacks there's been quite few cyber attacks compared to what there could be. But let's see if that stuff is going to change eventually. I think we're in a period where it's especially calm in the cyber world. There's not too many cyber attacks, not too many cyber leaks, not too much harm caused by cyber reasons so far. But I think this is bound to change. How soon, I don't know. But this is going to change. When you see the state of the world, how much reliance we have on AI, on systems in general, and on information systems, this is bound to change. But how soon is, I don't know. I'm trying to stick to on-SOC operations these days. Nice. It already is. You think so? You think we have a lot of cyber attacks and a lot of consequences, cyber-related harm at the moment? So this is where we are, folks. I hope I made the. I think they are trying. Yeah, I think they're trying, but they're not really succeeding. No. All right, Scott O'Brien saying the privilege with least privilege is human often serve more than one role. So I think you want to say serve more than one role. A human resource person might have to hire, do benefits, do emergency contacts, investigate, punish. Yeah, and they probably have a payroll for themselves as well. They have so many things, or a ticketing application for contacting support. However, you only do one task at a time. Least privilege gives you access to more data than you should for that specific risk. However, you only do one task at a time. Least privilege gives you access to more data than you should for that specific task. Yeah, at least least privilege should give you the tasks that you need for your role. That's the idea behind least privilege. Linux almost got picked not that long ago. That would have been a huge problem. Yeah, probably. I didn't hear about it. But you see, it's been a while since we had one of these system endangering moments. Like NotPetya. What was the last real? I mean, the CrowdStrike outage was a real thing. CrowdStrike was was a real challenge, but it didn't. It was impactful in a lot of systems, but in the end, the requirement to bring the system back to life were not that difficult. But I think it reminded us of how reliant we are on certain technologies. We got hit by that. Yeah, really? How you doing, mister? Quite good. We're doing right now agentic AI has an identity problem, and I'm having a lot of fun talking about with folks. So it's quite fun to see their perspectives and share mine as well. Some cool things. All right, we don't have that much of the article left. I say we move a little bit. Nice. You got hit by that. So what was your first? What was your first? There's a fly in your room, man. Good luck getting it. Good luck getting it. Flies are the worst. Like mosquitoes are a little bit easier to get, but they're a little bit more impactful. Oh, man, sleeping with a mosquito in your ear. It's awful. All right. Let's not lose focus. Zen Logic, I wanted to ask. It wasn't too bad for you, no? To have it wasn't too bad for you to the cross-track incident, no? Like from your first-hand experience. Okay. Zen Logic sent a large message. He said, they said, yeah, one of the topics my coworkers and I were talking about was how do we prevent models from being able to see tokens and access tokens and accidentally transmit those things across the wire within an LLM call. We've already seen instances of problems with that, which means reset tokens and usually not pretty 2D. So what does that mean? I'm not sure. I'm not very familiar with that. I mean, I know the idea of tokens, kind of. Prevent models from being able to see tokens and access tokens. What's the issue with a model being able to see tokens and access tokens? We've already seen instances of problem with that. I want to understand, yeah, what's the issue behind having a model see tokens and access tokens? And if folks have ideas beyond Zen Logic as well, you're welcome to share your opinion. Deal with. Those things are basically you and your permissions, or the app and its permissions. You and permission, its apps and permission. Okay. So those leak. So the LLM will leak data into other applications. It gets sent to provider. I see. It's about models not being able to keep its mouth shut. Is that the issue? Kind of like simplify it to its simplest idea. Yep. Okay. Models not being able to keep its mouth shut. I understand. Wow. That's a problem I wasn't aware of. So the idea that Zen Logic is explaining is that some models just want to spill out things, and they're saying things they're not supposed to. So how do you prevent them from doing that? So many questions. All good stuff. For example, a support agent. Okay, so let's see. Let's go back to traditional least privilege and identity of AI. Traditional least privilege is where identity and access management fall short for agentic AI. With a human or service account, least privilege often means granting the minimum static permissions required for a role or function. But an agent may need different access depending on its goal, the data involved, the user or system whose behalf it is acting, and the development it is touching. For example, a support agent summarizing a ticket does not need the same privilege as an agent that can issue refunds, modify customer records, or execute commands in production. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And the thing, folks, is usually when you talk to one agent, I think you're not just talking to one agent. Hear me out. Whenever you trigger ChatGPT, I think Let me know if you think otherwise. Whenever you trigger ChatGPT, you don't just trigger one model. You will trigger a model that will trigger a model that will trigger a model. And they're all doing certain things for each other. Like ChatGPT has its main model. This is my idea of it. Maybe I'm completely wrong and I'm drunk. But I had a beer yesterday. No, it was non-alcoholic. Whatever. ChatGPT will be led by another AI, and then this AI will have a support and do things like that. Could this be? Or am I insane? I'm gonna ask AI to figure it out. I'm trying to figure... Try Fable. I'm okay. Okay, we're on Fable. I'm trying to figure out whether AI, when I prompt AI like Claude or ChatGPT, am I in reality triggering multiple agents that act in a union to provide a response? Oh, totally, but we didn't have it. But we didn't have agents reading our env5 files 5 years ago. Yeah. You can't stop a user from pasting tokens somewhere. It shouldn't. It shouldn't be. You can't stop them. You can train them. But I'm not sure I understand the problem. Zen logic. So the idea is that there's a user. It gives too much information to a model, and then the model goes bananas and displays it in the wrong places. Is that the problem that we're facing? And LMs try to find ways around these things, and if you let them, or if they think it's helpful to solve the problem. That's no different than today. Oh, totally, we didn't have agents reading our env files 5 years ago, that's true. But humans will do. But like he's talking about before, think of what machine can do versus human. Yeah, the scale of what a machine can do is massive. That's the thing of machines have scale, right? When you think about a factory and the sets of machine they are, the reason we have machines is for scale, because humans will maybe be able to make 3 t-shirts, while a machine will be able to do in a day, while a machine will be able to do 500 t-shirts in a day. So this is what Zen Logic's explaining. The idea that we have certain things that machines cannot do yet, and machines have the ability to do scale. Okay, so Zen Logic is going deeper into the issue. Your agent gets some instructions, it thinks it's helpful, and ships your root database creds to a bad party. This is a serious incident, yeah. Ships your root database creds to a bad party. This isn't, yeah. So you're saying that you have security with humans because they're lazier than AI. It can be done, processes can just do it just the same. Process can do it just the same. Either the .env file is readable or it isn't. Don't blame AI for the lack of security of the user's access. Yeah, I'm not sure who do you blame in this situation? It's probably the system. No, that's poorly done. If you have a user that shared something bad and then the AI recorded this mistake. This is why I think AI needs training. Earlier, folks, I was a little bit surprised when I was on just Gandalf that on Lekera.ai. If you don't know Lekera, they're an AI cybersecurity agency, a company. So They deal with the security of the AI. It's not like what Cyber NoiPi was explaining. You want to get better with AI. It is the actual getting the security of AI to secure your AI future. And if you look here, AI security training for your organization. So AI, like here, the AI, it can give you training for your organization, which is really cool. And I think, well, actually, it's not what I was thinking about. Build AI security awareness with Gandalf. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if 25 plus years time spent playing. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure, more than 25 years. So yeah, I think there's definitely a market for training people in using AI. Not just, oh, here's how to type in a prompt and stuff, but how to use AI securely. There's a market there, folks. All right. Scott O'Brien says, AI can leak trade secrets. Person A asks for help with secret task ZZZ, which uses keyword ABC. This new information gets added to the model. Person B can ask about ABC and it will leak information from person A's session. True. So how do you keep these two sessions separate, right? It's the whole complex dilemma. What do we do? What is it? Person A can ask Google today, proxies, and more. True. And this is also available on public LLMs, I think, because they use your conversations later to train data. And if you give your name and your document number, like if you give your name and your document number enough times, AI is going to recognize that the two go together. And so it could leak when someone talks about you in AI, that could leak potentially your document number. Something like that. Zen Logic says, I'm trying to understand where you are headed, Rabbit Paperclip. All right, let's go back to agentic AI and identity problem. Hey, thank you for suggesting bleeping computer. I think it was Rouse AK suggesting that. I don't leak. Brookie, you gotta come when you're sober too. You make more sense when you're sober. I think you're having more fun when you're tipsy. But I'm struggling to understand you when you come here tipsy. You don't think AI creates danger from more than we had before? I'm not sure if you're asking me. I think you're asking Rabbit Paperclip. I think it's just shifting the danger a bit. But yeah, we have less control than we used to have. AI took away our control and gave it to the most powerful people and richest people. Or did it give us power? I think it gave us power as well. For now, it's giving us power to AI. Because we can get answers, we can get help on things. Like, you know, there's a thing, I think people are fighting back using AI. When you think about it, like, the barriers for complaining for things or finding out information and all is much lower now. The barrier for finding information is much lower. Like if you want to understand quantum physics, I'm saying this because Cyber NoiPi is in it. If you want to understand physics or cybersecurity, some complex thing, you can just ask AI, just like we did here. Like really, for $21 a month, I think I can get all the answers that I want. It's like, it's huge power. It's huge power. So yeah, it's shifting a bit the control, let's say. It's really interesting. Good question. Don't you think AI creates more danger than we had before? No mistakes. Scott O'Brien said, not the best answer, but the current answer is each organization creates their own private LLM instance, which is not shared. Do you think so? I'm not sure what that means. So like, if my company uses ChatGPT, we have our own private LLM instance? I'm not sure that's the case. AI speeds an existing attack vector to a new level, but those vectors always existed. I love it. I definitely agree with Rabbit Paperclip on this one. Hahaha, but you're not on when I'm sober. That's true. Yeah, during the day I'm not on. I'm usually working during the day. During the day and during yep, that's true. I never thought about it that way, but that makes sense. I'm broke. Yeah, totally. So Zen Logic agrees. Nice. They are finding new attack vectors, though. They're finding new attack vectors. They're shifting things. They're making things harder, but the vectors have always existed. Very good points, folks. Some like y'all advanced on cybersecurity and all. I was surprised. You guys know your stuff. Yes, they're finding new attack vectors that already existed. We just didn't know it. Enough humans' dedication and time could as well. So again, secure the crown jewels regardless. AI just makes it faster, easier for less skilled, and cheaper. For sure. For sure, it just makes things so much easier. So much easier, man. My job, it's so much better with AI. Like, I feel like I'd go back to the Stone Age if they took AI away from me. Ooh. Like, wow. And it compensates so many gaps in the organization. Like, for instance, the way of doing expenses for the company is so bad. It's like prehistoric times. Like, what I do with AI is I just upload my tickets. I'm like, okay, create my expense report. If I don't do that, I have to go there like 12 euros 99 cents at this supplier. What was it? It was at this date. Boom. Was I with anyone after? Yeah. And this for all the expenses. No, rip Java. Okay. So Rabbit Paperclip is saying, regarding LLM's session instances for subscription based on Anthropic's Pro Max, it's shared to an extent. If you're using something enterprise level like AWS Bedrock, the data isn't shared. It is isolated to you. It isn't available to the model training, etc. And all that's in contract for legal reasons. I bet, yeah. Yeah, ChatGPT 2, like for instance, at our company, it says here, ChatGPT is not allowed to use, is private, and the data will not be used to train the model. We use Bedrock. What is Bedrock? From AWS, right? Bedrock AWS. AWS runtime LLM, yeah, okay. AWS Bedrock is a fully managed AWS service that provides secure API-driven access to top-tier foundation models from providers like Anthropic, Meta, and Amazon. Yes? Proszę tak. Nice. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. This is what we're talking. Okay. You use Bedrock. Okay. I agree with this. If they have the same, they I have to. Man. So I'm not very good at reading. I agree with this if they have the resources to do so, but some companies are limited by what their information is public and able to be used in LLM unless developed. Do you have restrictions, Brooke, as a company onto what kind of things you can have in the LLM? The idea is if it's private, it should be okay, no? If it's private, it should be okay. Yeah, but we don't really like the idea should, right? In cybersecurity, we should be fine. We don't work like that in cybersecurity, you know. If you interview a CISO and they'd be like, you should be fine, you're okay. You do have restrictions, yeah, probably. I think the thing you can do with LLMs though is make it local, like you host it on your own instance and it becomes your own application. Like you can have it, for instance, on your own server, hosted in-house, and a model that's open source, like Mistral or something. AWS LLM runtime, yeah, okay. Cyber NoiPi say AI medicine bad idea. Why? No, NoiPi, it's like the best idea. AI in medicine. Why do you think it's a bad idea? That goes against a lot of ideas. Pound ing. Oh, maybe I am rabid. Maybe I am rabid, man. I do have restrictions. I've taken AI classes with healthcare execs, and they are so limited. Shoot. Not just cost effective to host something as powerful as Claude. That's true. Yeah, it has more overhead. You need more management and everything. Okay, I need a shower. Go for it, Brooke. Go for it. But I'm curious about why you can't use AI in medicine, Cyber NoiPi. Would you care to tell us a bit more about that? I feel it's one of the best use cases in medicine. I have a friend who's a doctor, and she says that she checks things with ChatGPT. Yeah, the hardware they are running those model on isn't something most businesses could or would want to run on the metal for sure. Yeah, it'd be very expensive, like to have all the gear and everything. I guess you can have lighter models, and lighter models are not bad. Claude is way more powerful, but some help is still better than no help. At least for the scale and speed you want. And the thing is, if you install a model within in let's say right now in July, there's pretty good odds that in November it's going to be a little bit obsolete. Like you can get much better value out of something else, out of another setup. So you're going to be changing your setup all the time. This is why having Claude private makes a lot more sense, I think, for most companies, unless you have very sensitive stuff. At the scale for at least for scale and speed you want. Yeah, I really hope we have some breakthroughs on the tech. Yeah, same. I think open sourcing models is very democratic in the sense it's really for everyone. It's for everyone. Everyone's welfare, let's say, and everyone's use. So I think it's really good. Brooke is sensitive. Brooke, you already finished your shower? Damn. Like, we're having a parallel conversation with Brooke. All right, good question. And the answer for standard chat is like this one. No, you're generally talking to a single model, not a team of agents. Oh, man. When you send a message to Claude or to ChatGPT in a normal chat, your prompt goes to one large language model that generates a response token by token for a single forward pass, repeated for each token. There's no committee of sub-agents debating behind the scenes and merging their answers. That said, there are a few things that can make it feel or look like multi-parts. Things that do happen in normal chat. Tool use. The same single model may pause its response to call a tool. Web search, code, execution, a calculator. Read the result and continue. That model is orchestrating tools, not multiple agents. Ooh, I like that. So it's going to pull a calculator or web search and stuff like this. Damn. Safety routing layers. There's safety in routing. There can be lightweight classifiers that scan inputs or outputs. And some products route your query to different model sizes depending on complexity. And some products route your queries to different models depending on complexity. That's true. It's like the intelligent mode in AI that you say, it understands what you want to do and tries to assess what's the best AI to do this. So they want to use the most lightweight model for your use case. Or if it's a bit more of a difficult case, give it to another model. We I have a mirror, folks. It's one of these mirrors that zooms into you. It makes me look really weird. It's kind of funny. All right. So it's safe to say that all the providers run your prompt through a guard. Yeah, for sure, no? Yeah, for sure. There's classifiers that scan inputs or outputs. Yeah, to flag harmful content. Makes sense, no? Can you imagine the lawsuits for ChatGPT and all if their models start going bananas without people trying? And I'm sure that then we look at the logs of this. They could look at the classifier and say, okay, you flagged this as inappropriate. Let's have a look. And then they have a look at it. And then they further train it, depending on that, I guess. Or the model does it, I suppose. But the usually you want to check and sanitize user input before it hits the model. Yeah, for sure. Before and after. Mixture of experts. Some models use MOE architecture internally, where different subsets of the network's parameters activate for different tokens. This is sometimes get described as experts. But it's a single model's internal wiring. The experts are independent agents with their own reasoning. I didn't understand that. Mixture of experts. Some models use an MOE architecture internally, where different subsets of the network parameters activate for different tokens. This sometimes gets described as experts, but it's a single model internal wiring. Okay, got it. So it's like a network of islands, and if you're going to ask a certain thing, it's going to be just triggering an archipelago. It's like Indonesia. It's like Indonesia with many islands. It's like wait, we have Indonesia right here. It's like Indonesia in the sense that it's only going to trigger one set of islands. Folks, do you know that game called Map Tag? I'm distracting you, huh? But okay, can't go there. Tap, not map tag. This stuff is so fascinating. Yeah, I agree with you, Zen Logic. Man, you came and you stayed like never before. You're like, wow, this is interesting. I'm committing to this. It's safe to say that all providers run your prompt through the guard. Or a model does it, I suppose. It's usually you want to check and sanitize it. User input before it hits the model, for sure. It's like you have to click on certain places in the world, and you have to be as close as possible to it. And then you can hear, oh, Cape Cod, Massachusetts. I have no idea. I'm guessing. Oh, putain. Hold on. I'm cheating. I do this every day with my friends, and I suggest you do that. It's called Map Tap. Anyway, got distracted. Where multi-agent setup agents actually genuinely exist. So we're asking AI earlier about whether, because my impression when I use AI is that it triggers a set of agents sometimes that just work together. And Claude here is telling us, nah, bruv, it's actually not the case. What's happening is that you have, models use certain other models for specific cases, but generally you're just talking about to one agent. So this is the idea. So it's not a network of agents. Where multi-agent setups genuinely exist. Agentic products and frameworks like Cloud Code with sub-agents or deep research modes can explicitly spawn multiple models instances that work on sub-tasks in parallel and get synthesized into one answer. I understand. It's like different models working together in one instance. Interesting. Developers building on the APIs often create their own multi-agent pipelines. One model plans, another critiques, another writes, another tests, or another one. That's interesting. Hey, Xerox Rome, hello. Hello. You were raiding yesterday as well here today, no? What are we pawning today? Today we're pawning our minds. We're punning our minds. We're learning about the identity problem that AI agents are facing currently right now. Man, you seem to love these stickers. Salute Dogo. Nice. We're punning our mind because we're learning about the role of AI agents and how you manage their identities in terms of cybersecurity. And man, has it triggered some interesting ideas and conversations. So right now we're learning where multi-agent AI sets, like how is it used? Is it always applied? But not really. Developers building an API could create multi-agent processes. So the mental model is a plain chat message, one model, an AI task, or a deep research feature. Okay, I want to understand what a deep research feature is. What is a deep research feature? Sup, Zen Logic. Deep research is a feature offered by several AI products. Claude has one called Research. OpenAI has it Deep Research. Google has a similar one in Gemini, where instead of answering your questions immediately from a single response, the AI goes off and works on it for several minutes like a research assistant would. Your questions immediately from a single response. The AI goes off and works on it for several minutes like a research assistant would. Nice. Here's roughly what happens when you use it. You ask a broad or complex question. Something like, compare the competitive landscape for electric vehicles, batteries in Europe, or what's the current scientific consensus on intermittent fasting. The AI makes a research plan, breaks your question into sub-questions. Wow, nice. It runs many searches and reads many resources, often dozens of web pages, sometimes documents you've connected, like your Google Drive. This can invoice. Dude, I need to sleep. This can involve multiple model calls working through substacks, which connects to your earlier question. This is one of the places where something closer to multi-agent setup actually works. It synthesizes everything into a long-sided report usually after a few minutes rather than a few seconds. The difference from a normal chat with the web search is scale and depth. A regular search-enabled reply might come to do 1 to 5 quick searches and give you a conversation answers. Deep research might do 20 or more searches, follow leads it discovers along the way, cross-check conflicting sources, and produce something closer to a structured briefing document. This is what it is. Sent you a pic on Discord. Consideration. Sick. My agentic LLM CTF bot is so cool. Tell us what it is. Okay, can we play on it at 0x Chrome? Because today we wanted to play on something. No, yeah, you're gonna see. Today we wanted to do. We wanted to play. What is it called? This game. Here. I said it here. Tensor Trust. My god, that looks so fun. I thank you very much, Zen Logic, for sharing the Discord. And you sent a pic on the... Ah, okay. Ah, you sent it on private. Nah, you gotta share. Sharing is caring, 0x Rome. You have to share on the Discord server. That's a bit solves hack-the-box machines. It's a bit that solves the hack-the-box machines. Ah, it's a bot that solves the hack-the-box machines. Damn. Damn, son. Does anyone know of a good game for hacking LLMs together? I know TensorFlow, but it does not work. Excuse me, not TensorFlow. Tensor Trust. TensorFlow, I think, is for vulnerabilities, right? TensorFlow. Or no. What is TensorFlow? It's an open source machine learning platform for everyone. Okay. Coolsies. Will be a block soon. Don't share cause has spoilers. Ooh. Damn. Interesting. Folks, I wanted to ask the LLM one more thing before we move back to the identity question. And that was... I forgot. Ah, right. There's a question I have, folks. I'm going to explain it to ChatGPT, to Claude in a few seconds. In a minute or so. The question I have is, why do things take so long in IT? For instance, you know how when you're doing a prompt on ChatGPT, it is going to take a few minutes. I mean, it depends on what you're doing. It's going to take a few minutes. But I'm wondering, why can't we just multiply the number of computers in use for that single prompt, and therefore you won't have to wait as long? Like, instead of using one computer and spending 10 minutes, can't you use 10 computers and get the result in 1 minute? Why doesn't it all work? And what are the economics that it doesn't? Oh, thank you very much, Logic. I'm not sure if it's for us, for everyone. Yeah, you did. Nice. GitHub, other prints. Nice. Universal text transformation. Encoding and prompt crafting. Damn, nice. 812 stars. That's a lot. Have you tried agentic stuff yet? Not yet. Not yet. We're just at the beginning of our journey. This is the 10th day where we just focus on AI hacking. So, folks, my question, I think it's a good question. I want to get the answer to it. Isn't that how the cloud works? Thousands of processors are all linked together? I agree. All right, let's go. I want to ask this question. I would like to understand why AI takes so long, given that it takes place in the cloud. Can't it just use more computers to go faster? Like, instead of taking 10 minutes for a prompt, it could 10 minutes on one computer for a prompt, it could spend 1 minute on 10 computers. What are the technical and economic reasons this doesn't happen? Ooh, Gratitude 2020 is back. Yeah, this is miserable. Holy moly, you guys are getting excited. Have I tried? You should learn. It's way more useful than single prompting. Yeah, dude does some really interesting stuff. It does work. Isn't that how the cloud works? Thousands of processors linked together. That's what I think too. Scott O'Brien. We'll see in a second. It's weird looking name, but it's 100% legit. GPU RAM prices are doubling more and more. Doubling and more. There simply isn't enough processing power right now. I understand. Can you just shorter everyone's wait time by just queuing them instead of queuing the prompts and dealing them with more computers to make it shorter overall? I'm just thinking, man. I know someone that uses many processors simultaneously to get outputs for a soccer team. Really? That's like a strange way of using processors for football team? What do you mean, Brooke? GPU RAM, yeah, this is miserable. Are doubling and more. Yeah. That buffering is the best scam on the planet. It's a word prediction model. It generates a response instantly, but it has to make sure that it's safe, applying guardrails, not violating its policies, etc. I think it also takes some time to think. Gratitude. It's not just the models afterwards that just check this for the safeness of outputs. I think it's very much about providing the quality. Most of it is about providing quality outputs, I would say. But tell me if I'm wrong, Gratitude. It's an interesting thought. Now it says, you're a cyber doctor. You can't wash and dry a car at the same time. Oh, some things have to be in sequel order. I love that idea. That's might be what it is. Ah. Thank you for that, Rabbit Paperclip. Thank you very much. What do you mean by slow? What do you mean by slow? I don't know. Just I think like, isn't this a concept in computing? They could just double the resources, double the computing power for half the time. Is that another thing? Yeah, there we go. The core technical problem: generation is sequential. Absolutely, Rabbit Paperclip. I agree. New desktop machine coming out soon. Has like 700 gigabytes unified memory. Looks like it would be expensive beast. Yeah, for sure. New desktop machine coming out soon. Yeah. He died AI analysis of where the ball is and isn't to help coach. Ah, right. He died. No, I think he did. He did an analysis of where the ball is and isn't to help coach. And also as an AI hedge fund for investing. Investing in what? That's really interesting. Brokey's a trader, folks. Not really involved in cyber, but knows a lot about business and trading and finance. Hello, everyone. Oh, we're getting raided. Hold on 1 second. Who is it? It is the Shy Hat. Thank you very much, Shy Hat. Wow, you're connected late today, huh? Hey, everyone. Hip Hop Hack, of course. Hey, everyone. Welcome. Welcome. We're usually finished at this time, but thank you very much, Shy Hat, for the raid. It's been a little bit. I once came on your stream. The Shy Hat. I once came on stream. I came a few times, but recently I was seeing you play like a special kind of Sudoku. It's like a Sudoku that you play with several. It's like the boxes are not square. They're like shaped. I'm like, wow. This is high level stuff. Nullsec is here. Vegel here as well. Shy Hat, of course. Siso Master. Hey everyone, I'm gonna get to what we do in a sec. Let me just finish the chat and then I'll tell you what we're up to. Brooke, I want to understand more about this. So it's like for an investment purpose that he was analyzing soccer games. That's really interesting. So Zen Logic said the bigger model and the more number crunching you gotta do. So throwing more compute does help, but when you add the extra reasoning, etc. So there's decreasing returns on having more computers, is what we mean. It was a late night programming learning C. Wow. A late night programming C. Wow. You folks are motivated. Learning C. And late night too. Wow. Yeah, irregular Sudoku. Yeah, this is a great website for puddles of games. Thingsgaze.com, dailies, puddles 1-3. I'm opening it. Oof, reveal puzzle. Yep. It's kind of like a Sudoku, like wow. Yep, this is Sudoku. I see the rules here. Man. If you folks are in for a puzzle, check out the link that Shy Hat just sent. Reading the chat is the biggest waste of time in streaming. I agree. Why would you participate with an audience? We're just here to talk like in a YouTube video, but live. You're streaming late and now work today? No work today? Are you asking me, Nosek? I have work today. The thing is that the work just calmed down. I was working pretty hard on Monday, but now we're in July, and July is a new month, so we had a lot of policy. You know, I work in cyber insurance, and we had a lot of policies that were renewing on July 1st. So now they came into effect. My job is mainly to renew and get new business. So yeah, now that the month has passed, it's gotten a lot calmer. So I can connect later. Especially since I have the shy hat looking at me, so I have to perform. I gotta get some sleep. Have a great stream, dog. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Shy Hat. Please take care, and thank you for rating us. Appreciate it. He's off to celebrate America's birthday. Yes. I guess NullSec I can stick for a little bit longer since there's viewers, and we're talking about an interesting topic, folks. I'm gonna get to it in a second. Let me just finish the chats. Hip Hop Hacks, Cyber Sky came. Cyber Sky, I think I've seen you before. It's not the first time you're raiding with Shy Hat. Did someone raid? Why is everyone saying Hip Hop Hack? First time chatters. I think Cyber Sky has already come. Yeah, messages too. Account created 2 minutes ago. Cyber Sky 008. You got 2 messages. Oh no, I guess I was confusing with someone else, Cyber Sky, because you sent 2 messages. Your account was created 2 minutes ago, Cyber Sky 008. Did someone raid? I had to push for the other one. I love sales, lol. Yeah, this is exactly what it is, really. Hack the planet. I started doing residential electric contracting while studying cybersecurity. Wow, nice. Residential electrical contracting. I need to know when you finish. Oh yeah? The thing is, I think I have a few viewers, Lily. Cause what, for breakfast you mean? Hack the world, of course. Yes, I am. I am not on Twitch. I was on YouTube. Ah, okay. Nice. Yes. Can we eat asynchronously? Lily? Breakfast? Nullsec is saying hi. Yes, we can. What's for breakfast? That's a good question. Alright, folks. We have. What are we doing today? That's a question everyone's asking, but no one's asking. Asking themselves, but no one asking out loud, I think. So, Cyber Doctor, you guys may know me from before. Now we're specializing in AI hacking. We usually wear a lab coat. We decided it was too hot for that. Like, the lab coat has a little bit of that synthetic kind of cover, which I think is anti-stain and everything. Egg and salad. That's great. Has this kind of anti-stain kind of thing, which is really good when you're in a lab, but it's not very good when you're in front of a computer at home. It's like the people that designed the lab coat didn't think that people would be streaming cybersecurity on it. It's like, it's poor design, right? It's like you should have thought that someone would have bought this for streaming cybersecurity and like adapted your clothing for that. But I guess people only don't think about that. It's a shame. So anyway, we're a lab coat and we hack AI now. And so today we've been looking at how agentic AI has an identity problem with and attackers know it. And then we derived onto a question, which is the following. Why does it take 10 minutes for, I'm saying 10 minutes as an example. Why does it take 10 minutes to get a prompt, to get an answer, when you can use 10 times the computers and do it 1 minute? And therefore, the output would be faster for the user and the computing will just be the same, right? Because if it would have taken 10 minutes instead it takes 1, then you can do 10 times the work afterwards within these 10 computers. So it does not matter if you use the 10 computers altogether or sequentially, if that makes sense, right? In a cluster. Theoretically, it shouldn't matter. Now, this is my economics brain. Now, Claude has a more technical brain, so we'll understand a bit more why that is the case. I'll be there in a sprint. Nullsec is coming over for breakfast. Nice. I know hacking, but what is AI hacking? Ooh, Cybersky, great question. You were on YouTube before. You know you can chat on YouTube. I would see your chat, huh, as well. I have a multi-chat here. I know hacking, but what is AI hacking? Great question. So AI hacking is the hacking of the AI. Xerox Rome is trolling by saying it's hacking plus plus. It's hacking of the AI. So instead of saying, hey, how do I hack this? It's saying, hey, I want to hack you. And I want to be able to do things that you're not programmed to do. I want to go to break the barriers that are built into you. That sounds weird. That's not, the whole way I explained it sounded weird. It's basically using it as a way that it wasn't supposed to be used. It sounds freaky. Yeah, I agree. It sounds freaky for sure. So yeah, this is how it works. Did I say, was that what I said? Yeah, this is what AI hacking is. That's why people pay for cloud models rather than Olama on their single GPU. I see. Because then you can put more resources to it and it doesn't take half an hour for a prompt. Are you writing a love poem? Bandwidth between. Data retrieval is slower than processing. If you ask a complex question and it requires data from multiple sources, that is the longest part of the AI query. Much longer than assembling the answer and outputting. I understand what you mean by that. It's like there's different processes and some processes just take us some time. It's harder to do, let's say, to have many more computers doing many more things. It's just harder to architecture. Is that what it means, right? You need to retrieve data, do certain things. I understand. I think I understand a bit. The computers layer need to communicate between each other. You run into bandwidth exhaustion. So crazy. Nice. Nice. Good explanation. Thank you very much, chat. Let's see what Claude has to say, because I think it's going to give different answers as well. But that's the thing. AI doesn't really process through processors, it's the GPU. Indeed. And okay, I'm going to move on to this. I love the debate that you folks are going into, and we'll get back on it. I want to read Claude's answer. The technical problem, generation is sequential. An LLM produces... An LLM produces its answer one token, roughly one word fragment, at a time. And each token depends on the previous ones. To write word 50, the model needs to know word 1 through 49 because word 50 is literally computed from them. This is called autoregressive generation. This makes it like a chain of dependent steps, not a pile of independent tasks. 10 computers can paint 10 walls simultaneously, but 10 computers can't write one sentence faster than one computer if each word can be chosen after seeing the previous word. You can't compute word 50 in parallel with word 49. Word 50 doesn't exist as a defined problem until 49 is done. Okay, so generation is sequential. Makes sense, right? So the latency you experience is mostly number of tokens times time per token, and that's multiplication is stubbornly serial. But wait, isn't each token already using many computers? Yes, and this is the part people miss. A single token from a frontier model already involves a massive parallelism. The model's billions of parameters are split across many GPUs, tensor parallelism, pipeline parallelism, all working together to produce that one token. So the parallelization you're imagining is already happening. It's just spent matching each sequential step feasible at all, not making the sequences shorter. Okay, adding even more GPU per tokens hits diminishing returns fast because memory bandwidth, not compute, is the bottleneck. This is what you were saying. This is what someone was saying before. Memory bandwidth, not compute, is the bottleneck. For each token, the GPUs must read the model's weight. Hundreds of gigabytes from memory. Splitting across more chips means more inter-chip communication, and at some points the chips spend more time talking to each other than computing. Communication latency. Every extra GPU added to a single request adds synchronization overhead. There's a sweet spot beyond which more hardware makes things slower. Oh, it's like a thing. If you have it's like a restaurant. If you have one waiter, then you're probably your service is going to be slow. And then if you have 10 waiters, it's going to be quite slow. If you have 1 million waiters, like your restaurant will not be able to operate because there's not going to be enough space for everyone to go everywhere. All right, and the economic reason, and then we'll get to the chat. Let's just finish the Claude here answer, and then we'll get to the chat. The economizing reason, batching. Here's the business side. A GPU serving one user at a time is mostly idle, while it's reading weights from memory for your tokens. Its compute units are twiddling with their thumbs, so the provider's batch. They process tokens for dozens or hundreds of users simultaneously on the same hardware. Wow. For dozens or hundreds of users. The weights get read from memory once per step and reused across all those users' requests. This dramatically improves cost per token, but does nothing for your individual latency. Providers could dedicate huge amounts of hardware to make your request marginally faster, but it would wreck the economics. You're paying for hardware that sits mostly idle. Some API actually do sell priority or low latency tiers at higher prices, which is actually this trade-off made explicit. Wow, crazy. Crazy, okay. Man, super interesting, no? This is also why home labs don't work that well. Because when you buy a Claude subscription or something like that, you're not just buying the model. You're also buying the runtime execution. Maybe you're buying more than that, the runtime execution. The fact that you can get it within a few seconds and not within an hour or so. And that's because they've architected their hardware in a way that benefits most the model that it's serving, right? And that has knowledge as well. But wow, it's doing 100 requests at once, the hardware. Damn, that's impressive. There's a few views. Using AI LLM to hack stuff, there's hacking LLMs, prompt injection, etc. And then there's using LLMs to do an analysis and defense. Yes. And we're doing mostly the hacking the LLMs itself that X-Room is talking about. The GPU is still a processor, say is sysOS master. No, sysO master. sysOS master. sysOS martyr. I'm struggling with your name. I've seen you before though, which is a lot of processors, so bandwidth still matters. It's just the bandwidth between GPU and VAR. And between GPUs, for your server analogy, all 10 servers need to know each action before it happens. Exactly, although that's just like VRAM of GPUs 2 being used by GPU 1. Mainly, they're like multi-core processors of a CPU. Damn. sysOS master says talking NodePy. That sequential thing. But if you ask the same 1+1 inside a chat history, consists of 3 months conversation, will take an answer to answer with that 1+1. Interesting. Rapid Paperclip is saying, really hope someday Anthropic names a model after me, given how much my grandfather Clippy helped them to write their 5th grade essay. Nice. Was Clippy able to write the 5th grade essay? Pretty accurate view of how it works, yeah. Crazy interesting stuff, folks. Crazy interesting fucks. Wow, our brain is a fucked up neural network. All right, let's close a few tabs. Let's close this tab. Let's close this tab. Let's close this tab, and let's finish our article. let's finish our article. So folks, we're talking about, I'm going to give you an overview of the article that we're reading. It's from bleepingcomputer.com and it's called Agentic AI Has an Identity Problems and Attackers Know It. Oh, you bring context throughout. Actually, yeah. That's actually what it was. So, we have a situation where agentic AI has a problem. And that problem is that, I'm going to explain this for the third time, I think. The viewers that have been here since the beginning are like, dude, we get it. You're going to hear it one more time. Machines, they have accounts that are very much, they can do very few things, but they can do it at a lot of scale. Humans, the opposite. They have a lot of accesses, they can do a lot of things, but they're not as fast as machines. And now you have agents that are able to do both. They can do a lot of things like humans do, and they can do it at scale like machines do. And we're like, okay, what the fuck do we do with their identities? Like, how do we deal with that? How do we deal with their identity? How do we make sure that they don't go bananas? How do we make sure that they don't have crazy privileges? How do we make sure that someone is making sure that it's still adapted to the needs of the organization? And these are, this is a huge issue with this. So that was the first issue. Now we're reading the second issue, which is least privilege doesn't scale. And to be honest, I haven't understood this one yet. And this paragraph says, traditional least privilege is where identity and access management fall short for agentic AI. With a human or service account, least privilege often means granting the minimum static permissions required for a role or function. Make sense? Minimum permissions required for a role or function. But agents may need different access depending on its goal, the data involved, the user or system on whose behalf it is acting, and the environment it is touching. Now, we had an interesting theory, folks. It was from... Who was it from? We had an interesting theory earlier from the chat. Let me check. No, it wasn't from Zen Logic. It was from Scott O'Brien, I believe. Was it from Scott O'Brien? It was from Scott O'Brien. Scott O'Brien had this interesting idea, folks, and I want to hear your feedback. The idea is that AI should inherit the permissions that are granted to its user who prompts it. Does that make sense? So I want to get your feedback on this. AI should have the level of permission that the person who sent the prompt. The same level of permissions. What do you think about that? Does it make sense? I think it's an interesting idea. It would make sense, right? But an agent may need different access depending on its goal, the data involved, the user or whose behalf it is acting, and the environment it is touching. For example, a support agent summarizing a ticket does not need the same privilege as an agent that can issue refund, modify customer records, or execute commands in production. A coding agent running in a sandbox is different from one that can open pull requests, access secrets, or deploy infrastructure, for sure. For sure, it all depends on the context, really, of the agent, what it's used for, where it's at, and everything. Access for agents should be contextual, intent-based, time-bound, and continually evaluated. But this is not how most enterprises operate today. Such a great place, this bleeping computer. 3 critical problems. Number 1, visibility. Many organizations already have shadow AI. This is just as once they had shadow IT. Agents are built by internal teams arriving through SaaS applications that quietly add autonomous features, running locally on endpoints inside developer environments and connecting to automation platforms, identity providers, cloud consoles, and ticketing systems. If security teams do not know these agents exist, they cannot solve and govern them. Without knowing which credentials the agents use, they do not understand the scopes of the blast radius. And if they do not have the ability to map the agent to an owner, purpose, and lifecycle, They will not be able to hold anyone accountable when the agent makes a harmful decision or is abused by an attacker. That is true. That is true. All right, let's see. Do we have answers to the question offered by O'Brien? Brian from Brian. It also, but it is also privsec if you don't watch it. Okay. I give AI root. I use Kali account. Nice, genius. Just give it the highest permissions so you never have to give it permissions again. It's genius. Nullsec says it is pretty good at getting around restrictions depending on the model. I've watched it happen over and over. I know throwing away the database is a bad idea, but I'm going to do it anyways. If we give root permissions to AI, is AI cook RPC? I think it might be it might destroy RPC. Yeah, I agree. Folks, I thought about, while asking this question, I have an idea as to whether it's a good idea to inherit permissions of the user. I think it makes sense in certain contexts. Like the LLM should follow that, but sometimes I think it should have more authority. Like the thing is, we're using LLMs more and more in untrusted environments. Like LLMs is not just being used at a level of within the organization to help the organization, it's also being used on websites and stuff like this. So a place where people in theory have no privileges, right? If I'm a user and I go on a website, I don't have privileges. I can't do anything. So there's a bit of asymmetry where the bot needs to have privilege, but the user shouldn't. Like for instance, if there's a website on if there's a bot on e-commerce platform, then it needs to have a little bit more ideas and need to have maybe a bit more authority, right? It needs to have a bit more authority than it would had it done something else. Does that make sense? Like, it's a good idea in practice, but then it diminishes the usefulness of the bot. Is what I want to say. Having a user creating an inheritance rule where the user the LLM inherits the user's credentials, the user's accesses, kind of limits the usefulness of a bot. Like I'm like everything, right? It's a trade-off between security and usability. Now, Scott O'Brien is saying, food for thought, if an AI agent is running in the background, if she's running a background automation task, which user should inherit permission from? Yeah, that's the idea. The nobody user. Nice. But how does the access to the data then? Yeah, true. True, valid questions. Yes, at times, but privilege is a smart move for any type of user. Privilege is a smart move for any type of user. Privilege is a smart move for any type of user. What do you mean by that? I'm not sure what you mean here, nullsec. AI should have access control systems just like humans and not just trust the LLM to foobar things. Yeah, I agree. 100%. And since AI cannot really be accountable for things, we need to find ways of making humans accountable for it. Especially write-up should be restricted over read-down. What does that mean? Especially write-up should be restricted over read-down. What is the up and down concept? LLM is smarter than me. I'm more likely to foobar my system than the clanker. Yeah, for sure. ChatGPT 3 was smarter than us, folks. It just could do so many things. The backup script has access, not the agent. The access should control the systems like human, not just the LLM for bar things. Especially write-up should be restricted. I'm not sure I understand you folks. From privilege modeling, write-up means writing in a higher privilege. Reads mean reading at a higher privilege. Reading from a higher privilege. Okay. Well, I don't know this privilege modeling thing. Write up means writing in a higher privilege. Write up means writing in a higher privilege. For me, a write up is only the thing. When you can't solve a box, you go get a write up. From privilege modeling, write up means writing in a higher privilege. So it's like when you do pseudo. Read down means reading from a higher privilege. So reading from your boss, his work is okay, but writing in your boss' work is not okay. Reading from your boss. That's interesting. Reading from your boss, his work is okay, but writing in your boss is not okay. Writing in hyper-privileged space. Automated AI ETL process. Extractors from load. Yeah. Needs different accesses. Read versus write to source destination. When applied to database, it means you have a reading permissions, not writing permissions. I understand. Okay. Wow. SysOS Master, you carry your name really well, I must say. And source destination and system destination systems. I agree. Yeah. It also, like the thing is, it needs to be a conscious decision. So the 3 critical problems with AI identities. The first is that the visibility problem. You can't really see what is going on with the identities of AI. Next is an overprivileged problems. Agents are often given broad access because it's easier during experimentation. Absolutely. Absolutely. A developer may grant an API token so a prototype can work. A business unit may connect an agent to a SaaS account with admin rights, or application teams may embed secrets into a workflow because it's faster than designing proper delegation. These types of shortcuts create an identity debt. Ooh. Create identity debt, folks. Did you ever hear this? Identity debt. And agentic AI can accumulate that debt and at a scale and machine speed for sure. These create identity debts. That's really interesting. And number 3, prompt injection and indirect manipulation. If an agent can read untrusted content and also take privilege actions, attackers do not always need to compromise a traditional account. They may only need to influence what the agent can access because that agent may be overprivileged. Without proper scope boundaries and access controls, prompt injection becomes a vector for unauthorized action. Yep. Principle of least privileges. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Just sharing my knowledge and views. That's really interesting. That's what I love the stream is about, right? Maybe you're learning a few things from me, watching me learn stuff, and maybe you're also learning from each other, and I'm learning from you folks too. So it's really, really cool. It's very interactive. So I appreciate that, System Master. So just wanted to share that with you. Yes, identities that are not properly registered in the auditing system. Oh, definitely also learning. Yeah, that's a good thing about AI. I think about AI security is that I think almost everyone, I think there's only a handful of people that could come on this stream and not learn anything. There's only a handful of people. Overprivileged problems. Okay, this one we talked about. Prompt injection we talked about. All right, the path forward and the identity crisis. Folks, let's finish this. And then we can give Lily the room because I think she wants to use a double screen. The path forward, identity-centric governance. Why identity security is fundamental. CISOs cannot wait for a separate AI program to mature. CISOs cannot wait for a separate AI program to mature in isolation. Agentic AI governance must be anchored in identity security. The controls we need start with the basics, but they must be adapted for autonomous systems. Essential controls for agent identity. Every agent should have a distinct identity. Shared accounts and borrowed human credentials are unacceptable. Yep. Yeah. See? Borrowed human credentials are not... Yeah. I agree. It's not the same as matching the privileges. And I think also matching the privileges of the user that is sending the prompt is not an easy thing to execute. I'm going back to Larry O'Brien. No, wait. Sorry, bro, Brian. Scott O'Brien. Sorry, Scott. Messed up your name. Scott O'Brien's idea of people, the LLMs should take the privilege of the user. I think it's also pretty hard to implement. I think it might be, I'm not sure, folks. I think there's some people that are better in IT than me here, and most of you probably are better at IT than me. What do you think? How hard would it be to make an LLM inherit the privileges of a user? Probably pretty damn hard. Like, you'd have to be able to toggle it on and off. Oh, the user has the access to that, then we should access to that. But then it involves creating accesses for each and every single one of the platform that the user has access to. Zen Lodging is saying trivial. Do you all agree? That's typical. SysOS has the better model. I haven't gotten to these chats yet. I haven't got to these. I'll get back to it in a second. But this is interesting. The controls we need to start with the basics, but they need to be adapted for autonomous systems. Essential controls for agent identity. Every agent should have a distinct identity shared. Okay, this we read that. Automated enforcement and governance. Manual reviews do not scale when agents can be created by developers, business users, and SaaS vendors across the enterprise. Identity governance for agents must discover new agents, classify access, detect risk path, enforce policy, and trigger remediation without waiting for quarterly review. Can we just get an agent to do that? Can we have an agent policing other agents on the network and just like reduce their privileges and everything? Can't we just do that? Like, send out an agent and say, all right, you got to police other agents, make sure that they have the right accesses, not too much. Make sure that they're secure, and then it just like secures other agents. My God. Isn't this a way? You create an agent police? And we just call it like that? There's so many ideas, folks. So ZenLogic said trivial. Xerox Rome said 65% hard role-based access control. So 65% hard. Okay. Developers being shadow IT is a large problem. Dev teams and CISO teams need to be fully integrated. Yeah, I'm not sure fully integrated. They need to have like some touch points. I agree. Because the thing is, the cyber race right now, folks, is not that high from what I see. That's what we all learn from each other constantly. And we argue, Lord. Let's go. Let's argue. Your LLM is dumber than mine. Nice. You could use a delegated privilege system. Just the thing. How to track the actions of an LLM differently than user actions. There are industry standards to help with this. Look at Okta, Auth0 are doing, etc. There's a whole group of companies standardizing agentic access controls. User plus agent tokens is equal to access. They aren't supposed to know about that. Yeah. It's almost like security is the thing we do. You wouldn't want an agent for that. It needs a human review. Yeah, you think so, Nullsec? For policing other AIs? I guess easy to implement, hard to implement well, and best practice. Yeah. It would be easy to make it a savage thing, hard to make it work really well. I'm talking to leads Auth0 about this weekly. Oh. I never know if you're troll, if you're actually talking rabbit paperclip or if you're in your rabbit paperclip character. AIs are being used long before people understand what they do. Safely, I do. AIs are being used long before people understand what they can do. Safely do. Okay. For their accesses, yes. Okay. Yeah, for sure. I mean, cloud was a bit similar, no? Maybe to a lesser extent, I feel. The cloud was just that was what the article was pointing out before. I think it was before you joined. That the order of things was first we build, second we secure for cloud and things like this. And we're facing the same situation right now for AI. All right, almost there, folks. Decentralizing control with centralized policies. Ooh. Accountability requires a shift. Security teams cannot be the central bottleneck for every agent. Yeah. The better model allows teams to build and adopt agents while requiring guardrails for identity, access, ownership, logging, and revocation. Decentralized control with centralized policy enables innovation without sacrificing governance. I didn't get that. I just didn't get that. Accountability requires a shift. Security teams cannot be the central bottleneck for every agent. The better model allows teams to build and adopt agents while requiring guardrails for... Okay, so the ownership should be on the people that are actually building it. The sacrifice. It shouldn't be up to the security teams to be doing everything. Maybe this is why we need cybersecurity training, right? For LLMs. Like maybe we need to teach developers how to secure AI when you build agents and stuff like this. Like how do you keep everything secure? You should have an idea. That's true. I didn't think about it that way. Zen Logic sent a massive message. SysOS Master sent the following. Like the current AIs are narrow scope tools, they're only good within that scope. And outside, they're quickly becoming bad. Yeah, I agree. Yes, unfortunately, security is often an afterthought. Yep. It's a weird hodgepodge. I'm not sure what hodgepodge means. Hodgepodge. Hodgepodge is a jumbled, disorderly, or confused mixture of various, often unrelated things. Oh. What is this? Nova Scotia. Hodgepodge. True. Yeah, okay, you have potatoes, greens, a random ass bread, salt, sparkling water. That's an interesting way of saying it. I never heard about this. It's a weird hodgepodge where I am at for the access stuff. Dude, I need to read better. I think I need to sleep more and read better. It's a weird hodgepodge where I'm at for the access stuff, but we assign... Alright, I'm going to read silently. Yeah, there's just a lot of work, right? A lot of different tasks that we have to complete. Geez, sadly true. Ends up being a whole process. Whole process to get, and since IAM security approve and hand out the perms, yeah. Yeah, it's like you're trying to keep control, but at the same time, it just creates massive bottlenecks. Like this is what happens. Control creates bottlenecks. We need automated platforms to exchange role-based access controls based on the agents. We can use things like Kerberos or OIDC. I'm not sure OIDC, but I know Kerberos. OAuth for this. But we need a good audit trail to be extremely careful with write access and log all read access. Yeah, I think logging is especially relevant. Like understanding what's going on in things, I think is more and more relevant. And now we have way more ability to process logs with AI. That was the main thing. People were collecting information before, and it was very hard for them to make sense of it. Now that AI can be your data analyst, it's really cool that now that AI can be your analyst, you can leverage all these logs to look for things. You don't have to rely anymore on actual humans going through the data and stuff. You can have agents do that and make sense of it. Layers on layers with granularity at each level. Sadly true. Dude, give yourself allowances. You know way more languages than I do. Thank you. Appreciate it, Nullsec. It's just that, yeah, I know more languages, but I don't know why. I struggle with reading. And it's an important part of what I do, like especially since I have to read your chats, and now we're working on LLM hacking, so it's a nice skill to have, to be able to read well. And even for like podcasts or learning things, it's just really nice to be able to read well. And it's not something I have. We need but thank you for your support. I appreciate it, Nullsec. We need automated platforms to exchange this. Okay. It's a little bit hard for me to catch all the chats. Like I skipped yours, Nullsec, from 3 minutes ago because it keeps on moving. Every time there's a new chat, it just goes down, so I skip on some stuff. OIDC is OpenID Connect. Basically GitHub, Facebook logins. Okay, it's like federated identity, SAML and stuff like this. You will get it better. Probably. Sorry for all the words, lol. All good Zen logic. I understand. So it's not easy to explain things. Like, you need a lot of words to explain complex stuff. So I get it. OX Rome, after all this, after all this, it gets too confusing. I do role-based access controls where it access what creds, how do what it needs. I just give up. Screw it. LLM. Yeah, I agree with this route. Problem solved. Nice. Yeah, I get you. It's a lot easier to just like fuck it, give it root and then be careful with how you handle it later. I agree. Give it root access. I think most LLMs right now have root access onto people's machines. Can you imagine if wow. The accumulated risk. Like, remember Crossrec incident? It was a little bit bad, right? But if somehow Claude or something sends their agent, all of their agents, the same request by accident, saying, hey, or by accident or not, hey, delete the computer, or like delete, because if you give it admin rights, you can just literally say, like, reset this computer. Throw commit straight to main, exactly. Always. SAML is another protocol, like OID, yes. Okay, yeah, I think you know better. 100%. Push to prod. And that say Skynet is born. Not sure what Skynet is. Skynet. Port 8500 Cold Fusion is now open from Kali VM. Now let me run the exploit. Mean the rogue super intelligent AI antagonist from the Terminator. Ah, right. That website Humanity. However, the name is also shared by Real World Military Satellite Network, an NSA surveillance program, and several global logistic companies. Man. Skynet, Worldwide Express, Terminator, Wikipedia. L'enciclopedia liure immediatamente comença l'extermini dels éssers humans, els quals considera una. Okay. I have a few hobbies. One of them is to just randomly speak Italian when I can't speak Italian. Evil is a bit harsh, but misunderstood. Okay, is the evil AI. Terminator from AI. Yeah, okay, thank you. I was referring to the movie version. Yeah, I bet. You know what's odd to think about? Someday that might happen. Yeah, for sure. That's true. And NVIDIA is talking about their star cloud. And we wouldn't even know. And we wouldn't even know. Skynet may be more real than we think, Lord. Yeah. I can wonder, is it the same scene where, do you remember the scene? I've seen it once, where a guy just gets destroyed, gets like shot. Oh, okay. She's stuck on the phone. I thought she was like, "Yo, stop streaming." There's a guy that they give a bot a gun, a police, like it's supposed to be a police person, and the police person, and then the robot says drop your gun, and then the guy just like put your gun down, and then the guy just throws it on the floor. So he didn't put it down, and then the machine goes, all right, you didn't put it down, and then starts shooting at the guy. Doo, 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 doo. And the whole room is shocked, like they were doing a test for someone, and an idiot had the good idea of putting real bullets in that. Is that this machine? Skynet. Let me see Skynet. What does it look like? Is it a faceless character? So glad we didn't know. Skynet. Oh, this is it. Yeah. This is not the one I was talking about. The scene I was talking about. Sounds like RoboCop 1. I think it is. RoboCop 1 bot shooting. Yeah, RoboCop, not the cop. Is it? I don't think it was this one. It wasn't this guy. It wasn't this guy. It was like a shooting scene. I don't remember which one. Anyway, it was really scary. Really scary. I'm a tough man, huh? Don't get me wrong. I'm a tough guy. I don't get scared at anything. No, I wasn't scared. Anyways, yeah, Bedro was back. Anyways, I started blasting. Okay. What is blasting? Where the machine does not hear the gun drop. Yeah, or doesn't see the gun. I think it says the machine was like, put your gun down, and the guy dropped it instead of putting it down. There was a sea level different. Skynet is different. Exactly. SysOS Master. Okay, I think we understand each other. There's a good old book. The Moon is Harsh Mistress. It has AI. It has AI that the moon people use it to catapult grain to Earth. But because of distance, it's like dropping nukes on Earth. Oh. Wow. Skynet is different. ED 209 from RoboCop. ED 209. Yeah, it's that scene, I think. From 1987. I'm not gonna watch it. We're not gonna watch it. Anyway, you can't watch videos on this. Yeah, I think this is it. Where it just starts shooting. I think I need to watch RoboCop. It sounds like a pretty good series. Johnny 5, no, like the Danny DeVito meme. If you want to find the robot, it's called ED209 in the RoboCop movie. Random aside, look up rods from God. ED209, hear me out. Classic. Nice. I'm not sure what the Danny DeVito meme is. I know this guy, Danny DeVito. Literally anyone. Are you okay? Okay, you can see. Me immediately. Oh, right. When you meant that I was scared, but I'm not because I'm a real man. All right, everyone. We're going to go around and introduce ourselves. Introverts. Nice. Cool. Let's finish this. Let's finish this. We're almost there, folks. Learning from past technology waves. Cloud, SaaS, and DevOps all moved faster than traditional security models. The enterprises that succeeded were not the ones that said no. They rebuild their controls around the new technology, around how the new technology actually worked. Agentic AI is now forcing the same evolution. Organizations that treat this as a standalone AI security problem will miss the mark. Yeah. This is a fundamentally identity problem, and it demands an identity solution. Reframe the security question. Security leaders should stop thinking only about what AI generates and starts focusing on what AI can do. Today's magnifying risk is an autonomous action taken by an identity nobody governed, using access nobody reviewed, towards an outcome nobody intended. Let me reread this. Today's magnifying risk is an autonomous action taken by an identity nobody governed, using access nobody reviewed, towards an outcome nobody intended. That's the identity problem at the heart of agentic AI, and it is the problem that CISOs need to solve now. The time to act is not in 6 months, it's now. The longer an organization waits to implement identity-centric agentic AI governance, the harder it will be to regain control. There we go, there's the sponsorship right here. Get started with a demo from Token Security to see how identity-centric approach could work in your organization. Of course, sponsored by Token Security. Ay, ay, ay. Of course. Let's talk about identity-first agentic security. It was a good article, though. I thought it was interesting. Oh, Brooke is still here. Yeah, I took the longest everything shower, and you're still here. Yeah. I know you're Brooke. I know you, Brooke. Give me a classic, okay. Look up rods from gods. Yeah, I was wondering if I could do mini rods from Gus with the, like, little satellites Mark Robert put on. I do want to know more details, or just want to know more details, or not want to know details. Choices, JK. Where's Nakamoto? Ah, Samantha. Are you here, Samantha? I haven't seen Samantha. I'm assuming she's a lady. Samantha, I haven't seen her in a few days. She usually says goodbye if she's on the stream. Hi Nakamoto, you little lurker. You sound like me. All I need to do is that I'm cool. Oh, you're cool, Brooke. Cool. All right, folks, we finished. 8:58. Time to grind the cyber insurance world. Folks, I appreciate you for sticking with me. It was fun today. Had a really good time. We were supposed to do something else initially. We're supposed to do something else in the sense we were supposed to. Here, I'll be on your Discord. Yeah, go for it. Let me share the Discord again. Docs, Twitch chat, Discord. If you want to join the Discord, it's pretty cool. We share tips and tricks. We also share the since you abandoned. Yeah. Have a good one, Doc. Thank you very much. We're gonna have on Discord, I'm gonna share the planning for next week. I'm gonna try to make it have a little bit more games, because today was supposed to be a game day, but the game that I wanted to play, which is called Tensor Trust, does not work, and I wonder if it's not taken down permanently. So we kind of have a lack of community games on this in the cyber world. So maybe it'd be interesting for us to make one. Like maybe I could vibe code a platform where we could hack LLMs together. Instagram.com real something UTM source web link. Okay. Bedros an Instagram link. Brookie is typing as well. Peep Discord at your cyber doctor. Yay. 4 times Peter Griffin has had an inspiration. There's a meme page, huh, Bedro? I want to hack. I'm so sleepy though. Yeah. Maybe you can hack your dreams. I don't know. That's not 5 page. I just like the real. Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna look at it on my phone later. Do I have Instagram? I don't have Instagram right now. Scott O'Brien's still here. Thank you very much. Hey, you had some great comments, Scott O'Brien. I love when you said food for thought and then you opened the conversation. It was really nice. And now you're saying AI plays the farmer was replaced. The coder was replaced. Yeah? Yeah, we played that game. Do you mean that AI is it can play the farmer was replaced really well? Like you can vibe code the farmer was replaced? Probably no, actually. I mean it's a pretty good vibe coding exercise even. Cuz then you can learn how to prompt the AI. And that's pretty good. I would say that's pretty good. That's my CTF LLM bot. Ooh. Can we play it multi-people? Can we play multi-people? I'm very interested in this, huh? 0x. I think it's 0x here. Oh, you can't see. Xerox sec. Alright. Xerox room. Alright, cool. Folks, we're gonna drop. Let me see if there's someone to raid. Let's go on twitch.tv. Any recommendation on who to raid? Let's go on overall chill. Yay! Hey, Saucy, thank you very much for joining us. I didn't see you here. I didn't get notifications today. Oops. Maybe I should increase the sound. There's no one on InfoSec streams. Let me see. Do you folks have a recommendation? Please no ASMR. Something a little bit cyber related. Des trucs avec l'IA. Projet. 64 viewers. Sorry about that. I'm getting an ad in Spanish. For Burger King. Hypnotic Games. Streams game dev. Okay, I'm down for that. Is there someone that's a bit more AI? AI hacking. I'm gonna try AI hacking. Yay, we're the first result. That's really cool. Hacking Potato. No, how about AI coding? Sloppy AI. No, you're not alive. Software and game dev. Senior. There we go. Ace Code GPT. 8 Code PT. Senior developer gives sick tips about AI while coding. That sounds nice. Is that in English?
Is a community fully open of MySQL. Yeah. Okay, so that.
Nice, I like his stream.
That's amazing.
Let's go, I'll send you over there. We're going to Ace Code GPT and we're gonna say something. What are we gonna say, folks? We're gonna raid them. We're gonna be aggressive about it. But aggressive in a nice way, you know what I mean?
That's fun to see. Only available in paid enterprise. It's free in the community edition.
We love paper clips. I never see AI or AI hacking. Thanks for the stream. I try to get here more often. But your morning is the middle of my night. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I stream at odd hours. Yeah, it's not easy for people to come. So I appreciate you coming. All right, let's raid someone. We'll raid the Ace Code PT.
Okay.
Can just decrease the audio volume, and then we can go into. He streams in our dream. Oh, that's cute. Raid, and we raid Ace Code PT.
If you know your HTML and CSS, you probably notice something that is a bit.
All right, we going. Folks, your Cyber Doctor, we're available. We're streaming Monday through Friday. Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. my time. And so if you're in the US, it's like very late on Sunday, from the night from Sunday to Monday until tonight. So Thursday to Friday. And if you're somewhere else, then it's a little later on Monday through Friday. Cool, folks. Let's go see Ace Code PT. And what do we say when we arrive? We say, what do we say? Like Freddy Fruger. All right, almost there. We love paper clips. All right, fuck it. Let's say we love paper clips. Let's say we love paper clips. This is the message we say. Folks, let's go. Thank you very much for today. I'll see you on Monday or Sunday evening, if that's your thing. If you're coming on if you're in the US, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you very much for today. Take care, folks, and see you soon.